welcome to SportsVision, the magazine special call-in show tonight on this Wednesday from 9 to 10. We're going to have a special time for you to call in and talk about the controversial call Monday night, Cleveland-Bradley baseball. Cleveland-Bradley always a big matchup, whatever sport they play, but they played Monday night last night. Monday night was very controversial, and you were there, you and your wife Denise, with the camera right behind home plate.
Right there. Little tease right there, because we are going to show you the whole game in its entirety. We'll show that last play. We're going to break it down. We had some
What happened?
Nice folks that did us some slow-mo. What happened, there was basically a play at the plate that involved a collision between two great players on the team, Kellen Pickle and Jonathan Morrow, the catcher for Cleveland. Collision, and there's a interpretation of the rule that's really kind of up in the air right now. We're going to show it to you. We want the people out there to tell us exactly what kind of interpretation they have.
You know, hey, let me tell you this. That interpretation of a rule, like a couple of weeks ago, cost my son an out and to be ejected for 2 games because of the same kind of basic thing. So it's a judgmental call.
Judgmental, and I'll tell you, this is going to go down like Joe Montana, Dwight Clark to catch. It's going to go down. It's going to go down in history just like a drive with Elway, Pete Rose,
or Marino. Don't stop there.
Get out of here.
Marino to Clayton, greatest.
Also, this is the local version of it. This is Bradley, Cleveland. Of course, the football, baseball, it doesn't matter. Baseball, you think, hey, it's not quite as bloody. We're going to show you different. Also, we are going to talk about John Levengood, of course, resigned over at Walker Valley. We want you people out there to call us tonight. Let us know what you think, who you think should be the new head coach. Maybe what you think as far as somebody experienced within the system, without the system.
You know what? I think a lot of people are going to call and think that I should be the new head coach.
I doubt it. I doubt it. Anyway, the other night, you asked what happened. I'm telling you, listen. Little old ladies were coming up and getting mad at me.
They were mad at you.
All I did was tape the game.
If you knew that kind of thing would happen, you'd be taping every game.
That's right.
That every team you're for.
Let's go over it a little bit and tell you exactly why there's such a furor about this. Number one, it's a district game with Cleveland and Bradley, and of course we know how just a game between them, period. But Cleveland leading the district, having an outstanding year coming in. They pretty much have everything, had everything under the control. They needed a win. They were leading all the way, and the incident at the end of the ball game is you know, that's basically the deciding factor, and of course, depending on what side you look at.
And you were a very popular guy at the end of that game. Everybody wanted that tape.
Well, we're going to show that to you. The coach comes up, asks me for the tape. We're going to show you that. There were some upset fans. You're going to hear some of that. We bleeped out anything that shouldn't be on there. But let's go back again. There was a little bit of history there. These umpires, evidently, up at McMinn last year, there was an incident that happened with Cleveland, and Cleveland was a little concerned with the fact that, hey, maybe they aren't getting a fair shake, and by golly, if they're not, they want to see the tape. They want to go ahead and inform TSSAA. And if you are one of those umpires out there, I don't think they're within our viewing range, but there's Joe Watson, who's the head of the umpires out in this area. Said he would call in if he could watch the show tonight. Joe, if you're watching, had a couple other calls. Any umpire that may watch this and give us some interpretation, defend or go against it, it doesn't matter. I mean, just whatever you think, you tell us what you think, honestly, what it is. Also, both schools know that we are going to air this tonight, and I described what was on the tape to both schools, and Coach Woodard, of course, it's actually, since it happened at Bradley, it's their property, so to speak. They say, hey, you can air this, you cannot air this. And also, you know, Charlie over at Charlie Cogdell wanted to see it, Coach Carson wanted to see it, because Cleveland has a vested interest in, you know, having the games called the way they should be called.
And as you said, as we talked about prior to broadcast, it's not going to change anything one way or the other. Guess
what? We forgot to give the number, 472-8892. We're going to call after the break, okay? After the break. Don't call them right now. We're going to have a commercial coming up after a little while.
I'll wait for those commercials, I know.
Anybody out there, ideas on who should be the next head coach at Walker Valley? Not Joe Palo. Who should have got the call there? Was it the right one or the wrong one? One more thing I want to say. Kellen Pickle and John Morrow are the two principals involved in this play. I've heard from both of them. I've heard from their parents. They were friends before that play.
And still are.
You're going to see some emotion from both players, from both teams. You're going to see emotion from the coaches. Put yourself in that position, district game on the line. That's what happens. They are fine now. They played the next night. Had a little outburst, not near like Monday night, but Tuesday night had a couple close calls that, you know, fans were very well under control. And another thing, anything that's on there from fans as a whole, basically, we know that most people say the right things, control themselves. There were a few things you're going to hear on there that you think maybe they shouldn't, but, you know, that's just
except for you and I. We may get a little crazy.
Well, of course, we will. All right, so we are going to have...
All right. We got a commercial coming
up. Commercial break? Yeah. Right away?
No.
Oh, well, Lick. Hey, we're live, of course, and as prepared,
Scott tells us
as prepared as we always are. Scott's the guy that
saying
really
go
knows
away.
what's going on.
Scott says go away.
We're going to show you the game. We're going to give you the package in its entirety, start to finish, what builds up to that play. Then we're going to show you in slow motion. Let's take a look right now to what happened Monday night that caused all this fury. Let's go after it. It's a rivalry. It's Cleveland, and it's Bradley, and it's Monday night. Playing the first of two. They're going to play again Tuesday. We're in the bottom of the first. It's Jeremy Satterfield taking the second pitch of the ball game over the left center field wall off of Blake Carver. Pitching well for Cleveland as of late. Has a pretty good game here. We'll show you what happens in this controversial baseball game that had the finish that everyone's talking about here. Satterfield rounding the bases, being congratulated by his teammates of Bradley as they take the bottom of the first inning, 1-0 lead. We move on now to the top of the third. Jesse Petit on the mound for Bradley. Throws a pitch to Taylor Sherman. Sherman will be deposited into left field for a single. And Sherman would be followed by none other than Levante Barber, the man on the gridiron that can play some football, can also hit a baseball, as he's going to show you right here. He's going to say hello to his low fly as he crushes it into left center, or into dead center field. There it is. The ball is over the wall. Umpire signaling circle of Levante. Sherman scores to make it 1-1, and of course Levante Barber is going to step on a plate there to make it 2-1 Cleveland. And they look to take over here because they're going to spot a 4-run lead up here on the top of the third inning on the board, as Levante followed by Antonio Westfield, who would smash a line drive single past Pickle at shortstop. He's on first base. And then the man that plays very good baseball, over 500 last year, his batting average, over 500 this year. He doesn't even look like he gets it all, being looked at by the Texas Rangers. He gets enough of it because he goes with the pitch into right field. His name is Jared Gaston. He would make it 4-1 Cleveland as he brings Westfield home and gets congratulations from the Cleveland faithful, the Cleveland team, 4-1. With Carver pitching pretty well at this point, it looks like Cleveland was in control. Bottom four now, still 4-1. It's Chris Cretton receiving a walk for Bradley. Takes second on this wild pitch right here. Carver losing a little bit of control. Carver goes on and walks Satterfield now. It's first and second for Bradley. They've got something going. Westmoreland looks at ball four. Bases are full. Bradley with the potential big inning. Pauly Castro now with the infield in. Would hit one to shortstop. It would be picked up, but the throw a little low, not in time. And it's 4-2. Bradley still with the bases loaded, but can do no more with it right there. 4-2. That brings us to the big inning, the controversial inning. Bottom seven, Tyler Westmoreland with one out. Gets himself an infield hit. Nathan Centers would be put in a run for him. And Pauly Castro would receive a walk right there, making it to first and second. He would also have a runner come in from him. The man with the controversial play at the end of the ballgame, Kellen Pickle, would hit one down the left field line. It would hug the line, and it would be a double with the tying run on third base, the winning run on second base, as it made it 5-3 there with Centers scoring. Now Zach Bunch hits one to the wrong infield again. Shortstop bobbles. It can't make the play. Everybody's safe. It's 4-4. 90 feet away is Kellen Pickle. They try to squeeze him home. The second out there on the strikeout on the bunt attempt. It was missed. Morrow catches the ball. And there was a throw not handled over there at third base. Picked up by Westfield. Perfect strike to Morrow. Morrow doesn't catch it. Ball bounces out. Pickle runs him over. Morrow comes up swinging. And we've got a little controversy. Looks like maybe a brouhaha. Doesn't happen. We're going to listen in here. We're going to show you that again in slow motion. Let's listen to the coaches. You saw Teddy Carson run across there in front of your screen. He is going to get thrown out right there along with Danny Carson, and then he will come running up to ask for the tape. You'll hear some fans in the background with some expletive ditties, and we will discuss this short slow motion momentarily.
It's supposed to slide. They are. Hey, get that tape right there. We'll send it to the state. Run over his bull. I want to talk to you that tape. All right? Can you do it for me, please? Thank you. There is no sense in that. You drop your shoulder. In that. All right, drop your shoulder, ain't it?
All right, Joe, there's your scoreboard. It's Bradley 5-4 over Cleveland on Monday night and Bradley 7-4 over Cleveland on Tuesday night, right back-to-back ball games. And I tell you, tough loss for Cleveland. You can understand why Coach Carson being upset. I do believe I said that Coach Carson, Teddy,
right,
was kicked out of the game, thrown out of the game. It was Danny that was thrown out of the game. And Coach Carson asked me for the tape, and we are going to provide that tape in its entirety as soon as I can get it all copied for them and turn it over to them. And there it was. That's it. So what do you think?
Well, before we show the folks in slow motion, again, let's give the number, 472-8892. Give us a call. What do you think? I mean, okay, I've got to say, in all fairness to exactly what happened there, and whatever happened, the umpire, the school, I don't know nothing about that. My son Matthew, 2 weeks before that, same exact thing happened. He plays for Ocoee Middle School, 8th grade game, playing McCauley. Same thing happens. He's at third base being, was it Baylor? Was it Baylor? Chattanooga Christian, I'm sorry. What difference does it make, huh? Outcome was the same. On third base, on the way home, did not slide, flagrantly ran into the catcher. Pete Rose, baseball is baseball.
Ray
Folks.
Fosse, Pete
I'm
Rose.
sorry, but
We were kids,
they call him out, and they
kids, you could do
ejected
that.
him of the game. 2 games he had to sit out because of that. Now, looking at the footage we just saw, again, we'll see it in slow motion. The flagrancy of the foul, Matt's case came in intentionally,
knock the guy down.
and he did try to knock the ball out, which he did, and did touch the bag, which he was safe. In this case, the ball was never caught, and was Pickle intentionally trying to bowl over Merrill, or was he just trying to touch the bag?
We're going to find out. I think we're having
you
a
know.
slight problem with the phones. We can hear you calling in. We're going to go to commercial.
turn it up
We
there a
will
little
be
bit.
back here in just a minute. We'll be back. Take your calls. Call in. Let's hear about it.
Do when your cash is low and you need groceries.
Check into cash.
What's Check Into Cash? It's a remarkable place to get instant emergency cash for a flat fee. Anytime you have an unexpected expense and need a payday advance, Check Into Cash can make it happen. You write us a personal check and you get the cash you need instantly. My checking account's low. I can't get what we need. Go to Check Into Cash. The next time you need quick cash, for whatever reason, go to Check Into Cash.
Remember how you loved going to the local diner with your parents for an authentic French dip sandwich? No, you avoided going out with your parents. You were embarrassed by their matching sweatsuits. You must be thinking of Hardee's new authentic French dip sandwich. Roast beef carved to order, covered with Swiss cheese and piled high on a freshly baked roll. Perfect for dipping in our famous au jus sauce. Might want to take mom and dad through the drive-thru. Try Hardee's new French dip sandwich. Hardee's, the way food ought to be.
It's awesome, baby! Here we go.
All right, we're here to answer your calls. The phones are starting to ring. We're going to talk to you in just a moment. Real quickly, Wells Smith of Keyhole Productions. He's the one that's providing the slow motion footage that we're going to show here in just a minute. But should we show that first? We do have an umpire on the phone. We found out.
Let's talk to him first, and then show the slow motion, and see, and he can watch it as he talks to us here. Now, remember, of course, this is a judgment call by the umpire. Okay.
And as you can understand, we're not going to use his name because he has the umpire around here. But this is official and legitimate umpire. Here we go.
All right, yes, sir. You're on the line on SportsVision, the magazine. Talk to us here. You're an umpire. Were you at the game?
No, I wasn't. But I would like to make the comment that even though the ball was not caught,
Right.
that runner's obligated to slide.
There's a play at the plate.
There's a play at the plate,
Okay.
and that is a umpire's judgment and the ball was close enough where that runner needed to slide.
Okay, wait a minute right there. Close enough. So in other words, if the umpire deemed the ball far enough away to where after it hit the glove, there wasn't a play, then he can call him safe. But if it's close enough to where the glove is, he's safe?
Yes.
All right, let's just do one thing.
What?
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
With looking at that play, that runner should have been ejected.
Okay. Go ahead.
He looked like he came in there intentionally, knocked that catcher over.
All right.
Now, first of all, since we don't know your name, let's get your opinion. I disagree with the fact that that kid should be out simply because that is baseball. If that's the case, kids that play Little League football shouldn't get to tackle because the kids could get hurt. When you're playing baseball, if you run into home and the catcher's got the ball, you knock him out to make him knock the ball out so you can get safe. That's baseball. Now, in this particular case, that didn't happen, or he was safe. In the case of other cases, he's out.
You're right. That is baseball, but it's also a safety factor.
Safety, that's exactly
Safety
right.
first.
Up until major leagues.
Let's do something else. Let's keep him on. We got other calls we have to answer, but I want you to hang on just a second because we're going to show you 1 minute's worth of slow motion. Then it does clear up how far the ball is away, etc. Let's look at it real slow.
And I will just slow motion and see what you see.
I'm going to describe a couple of things where we see where the umpire makes the call and so forth as we go. But generally, we're going to let the picture speak for itself. Here we go.
All right, go ahead.
All right, there's the play. Elrod misses the bunt for out number 2. Pickle, if thrown out here, would be out number 3. Ball headed out in the left field. Westfield picks it up.
There at home.
Now we're going to slow it down for you. Right there, the ball hits off the catcher's mitt. It's stopped.
He's got the slide.
It's behind It's behind him now at this point. Plate is blocked. Right there. We're slowing these down to specific points. He's touching the plate. The ball is, how far is that, Mr. Umpire? Can you tell from that distance about 6 feet?
That's too close. He's got to slide.
Okay.
Hey, in my judgment, he's got to slide.
All right, now we're going to continue on here, too. See, the umpire's safe. The right hand is up in the air. We saw it. He was safe. Also, again, as we said, Coach Coach Danny Carson got ejected. There's Teddy coming across to go talk to the umpire, obviously, as he would any coach defending that play right there and his catcher. And they're going to continue on, and of course, then Danny comes across. We're going to see him in a minute. And Danny gets ejected, and I think both of them were just adamantly thinking, hey, it's a big district game where we lose on a play that looks like, and what you're saying then is he should have slid, and they want that call made, and evidently there's been some other incidents with this umpiring crew with Cleveland. So
that runner went in there barreling over the catcher.
All right.
And that's it.
There you go.
You can't do that regardless of how close the ball is.
Okay.
All right, let me ask you this question. In your personal opinion, all right, forget being Cleveland Bradley, it doesn't matter if we're watching 2 kids with a white shirt and a black shirt or a green shirt and a red shirt. In the idea of baseball, shouldn't that happen? I mean, and let me
Again,
speak.
you've got to look at safety first.
Exactly, but let me clarify this now. Morrow was a great catcher and doing a great job for Cleveland, and I appreciate all of that, and I pickle for Bradley and that whole thing, but in the idea of baseball, safety first, you're right. But from what I understand, because I question it when it happened to my son.
Right.
When are you allowed to do it? You're not allowed to do it to major leagues. Now, they took the wooden bat away. Now we're taking the play at home away.
Right.
All right.
You've got to look at it. These high school players are not getting paid.
You're right.
That's true. And these coaches, by the way, are getting paid to win and win the district. So I want to mention that. When you see a coach going there, they want to win the district, and they're being paid to win ball games.
Yeah.
Well, listen, we appreciate your comments here. We've got another 1 or 2 calls on the line. We've got people backed up and waiting. We appreciate, Mr. Umpire, for your input there. If there's any other umpires out there or anyone else, let's hear who we got on the line next.
All right, caller, you're on SportsVision, the magazine special edition. Your name, if you want to give it.
Brett Whitehead. That's who that is.
How you doing?
Fine.
All right. Did you go to the game there?
No.
All right.
I watched the Braves on. No. Bradley.
You watched Bradley. Okay.
Yeah.
What did you think about the play,
Number
Brett?
22 was safe.
He was called
All right.
safe. Bottom line, the umpire calls him safe, so he's safe. But on the other hand, we're just trying to get an interpretation of whether that was the right call or not. So your vote is?
He's safe, right?
Right.
He's
All
safe.
right, thanks, buddy. Thanks for calling.
Thank you, Brett.
Okay, caller, you're on SportsVision, the magazine, special edition. Your name? Hello? Your name?
Levante Barber.
Levante!
The Cleveland
This guy
contingent there.
this guy can play and run. What do you think? What do you got to say, Levante?
Well, I know I'm not one of them person that blames games on umps. We should have won the game, period. But after looking at the replay, because I was in center field and I was watching him throw home, and I just knew he caught it, so I didn't really see the slide. But after looking at it now, man, if it's so close that he has to slide, you know, or when he knew the ball was going behind him, it didn't go too far, so he knew it was going to be a play at the plate. And he just runs on. You can see his shoulder leaning. Man, if you can't call that, then something's wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, and as I said, I was told on the play with Matthew Palo that was exactly why that umpire made that call. Devil's advocate here. Was there any other way? If he slides, can he possibly? You're a good base runner. Can you make that? Can you get to the base? I mean, what other choice do you have? Or is there a choice?
Yeah,
you
can slide. I mean, and he's seen the
is he
ball.
going to be able to get
pop
through
out.
the catcher at that point?
Huh?
Would he be able to get through the catcher at that point?
Yeah, he could have got through the catcher because he wasn't like. If I can see if our catcher was up the baseline, but he wasn't up on the baseline, so you can't run him over if he ain't up the baseline. And if he slides, he gets there, and he seen the ball. He had to see the ball drop, and then try to lower his shoulder.
Yeah.
And I know Palo trying to take this out, but that's cool though. We ain't gonna worry about that either.
Let me tell you something. You, my friend, in saying your opinion right there, I take that to the bank because you're a great athlete and a very, very, very excellent kid. I believe that totally.
Hey, let me tell you
I
something.
believe that's your honest opinion, and I see what you're saying because that is a excellent, valid point. You being a base runner, at what point would you have thought to yourself, I got to slide?
On a play like that, if the ball would have got behind me, I knew I didn't have a choice but to slide.
Okay.
Because it's going to be a play at the play.
Exactly.
Just
Exactly.
slide.
I see what you're saying. That's a valid point. Very good point.
He's about 4 feet away, though. I mean, there's you got to put on the brakes. Of course, now Levante, everybody knows your special skills. I know you can put on the brakes anytime you want to, and then start it up again. But I don't know whether that's something to consider. But I want to tell you something. We do respect you as a ball player, football player, and baseball player, and you have excited fans around here in both those sports. And we appreciate your opinion, Levante. Levante votes, hey, they should have been thrown out with the shoulder down. And we got another caller on the line.
Thanks for calling,
two. Thanks,
Levante.
Levante.
Thanks, buddy.
See you, buddy.
You're on SportsVision, the magazine, special edition. Your name?
I probably won't give that.
All right, that's cool.
If you look at the base runner as he was coming through and the ball was being thrown behind him, the catcher was sitting up off that plate about 4.5 to 5 feet.
Okay.
You try to slide through that catcher, you're not going to be able to make that slide. It wouldn't matter if you try to slide around the catcher or not. If you try to slide around the catcher,
Exactly.
That's what I was
Exact
wondering.
point.
You know,
Scott,
make
can you
that
back that up
slide.
and show? Okay, wait. Before we do that,
Hang on.
Exact point.
We're going to see where the ball. There it is.
Look at this
That's
right here.
impact.
Here we go again.
That's impact right there.
okay, if you
Back it up a little bit if you can, Scott.
back it up, and you'll see the ball being thrown behind him.
It's thrown over his shoulder, it looks like, and bounces off the catcher's mitt.
Right about here, the ball may be in his vision. Right about here, if he sees it hit the glove.
Okay, but what are you focusing on? Are you
All right, see the ball right
You're
there?
focusing on the plate.
He's focusing on the plate. It looks like, because if you watch his
It looks
head,
like he's going to take a step to slide.
he's looking at the plate and thinking, I got to touch that plate right there.
Right.
Whether he sees the ball come out or not is irrelevant at that point because he goes in. Keep going, Scott, if you will. He goes in.
Right.
Now, right there is the questionable call. All right?
Did he have time to put the brakes on?
Right. Is he have time to put the brakes on? Is he going for the plate, or is he deliberately trying to knock the catcher over?
Okay.
So the judgment call of the umpire was he tried to go for the plate and he's safe, and there was no
The
play.
only way the umpire can call him out is if the catcher is covering the plate, not if the catcher is above the plate.
And it looks like it's hard to tell exactly
And
on
if he has the ball.
on a TV screen, but he looks to be
Yes.
about at least 2 feet. I don't know. Probably no. The back foot may be about a foot away, but the body is maybe 2 feet to 3 feet away just by trying to.
Yeah, but at first he was like 4.5 to 5. I mean, we were there, so.
Yeah, there you go. Okay,
That's a
do
little
it
better.
again. Scott, go back if you will, please, and run it again. Let's see, right there. Okay. Here comes Mr. Pickle right there. There's the ball.
He's right at the dirt when he sees the ball.
There it is. Ball bounces out.
I'd say he was hitting the dirt when the ball hit the mitt, just about that. And that's a short.
But he was trying to make the decision whether to slide or not. I mean, I'm not for Cleveland or Bryce, so I really don't care.
That's a good point. You've got an excellent point, because we're looking at that and we're seeing the same thing. We look at the play over and over and over. What was happening there? Was he trying to bowl Morrow over and touch the bag? Was he just trying to get safe? Did he know the ball was out? But the judgment call of the umpires you saw there, he was saying he was safe. And of course, all the controversy.
And just like the player from Cleveland said, they should have won the ball game anyway. They let the ball game go because the shortstop made 2 errors. So they lost 2 runs on those 2 errors. So if they want to squabble over a play at home, well, let's start looking at the errors in the game and seeing if the errors caused the problems or if the play at home was actually the thing.
When we showed the whole package there, as you can see, there were other plays leading up to the climax of that game right there, of course, and there 4 or 5 runs scored before that final run. So you're right. There's other things that happen in the game to get the score to that point. Maybe it shouldn't have been a tie ball game at that point.
We appreciate you calling. Thanks, bud.
All right. I think
you're on SportsVision, the magazine, special edition. Your name, if you'd like to give it. Hello. All right. SportsVision, the magazine, special edition. Your name, if you'd like to give it there.
This is Jamie Taylor.
Jamie. All right, buddy. What do you think?
Well, I'm a former TSSAA umpire. I umpired ball for 12 years.
All right.
And something that I haven't heard mentioned at all in any of this is that the umpire could have called him an obstructed runner. He was up the line without the ball.
Some people have said that.
Well, now I hadn't heard it, but
not on the air, but
it's
outside. Yeah.
Right.
In our preliminary investigation.
The catcher's entitled to block that line as long as he's got the ball. He didn't have the ball. He was waiting on it to get there. And I'm like, I've seen collisions, between catchers and runners, and that boy, he was protecting himself. If he'd have come in there, he'd have dropped that shoulder a lot earlier if he was really trying to get that catcher, I think.
Okay, a point exactly. Was he waiting for the collision and trying to go for the plate? On the other hand, all right, the ruling is if there is a play at the plate, the runner has to slide, safety reasons.
What would have happened, and of course, if he catches the ball, if the catcher catches the ball right there, then is he going to be out automatically with that late of a decision to not slide, I guess, before impact?
Well, technically you can't have a play till he's got the ball.
Okay.
And he didn't have the ball.
Okay, I don't mean to interrupt you, but that point right there, the technical aspect of play at the plate, is the play at the plate the throw to the catcher or him having control of the ball?
Well, I can't, in my experience as an umpire, now I haven't called in a few years, but when I was calling ball, a fella coming down the line, he's coming to the plate, and that's his main goal.
Exactly.
If that catcher doesn't have the ball, that catcher has no right to be in his line.
So as soon as the ball pops out of the glove and is behind Pickle, then if a collision, then at that point you're saying, your opinion of it is that he's no longer maliciously there's no play at the plate, so what happened was legal.
Right, what happened was legal. Now, however, if he'd have come in there and 5 foot before he hit the catcher, if he'd have dropped a shoulder, then that would have been unsportsmanlike conduct. Okay. That's a whole different ball game. But he didn't drop a shoulder till he was right there. I mean, he was just trying to protect himself, and there wasn't an elbow out. I've seen plays where they come in with elbows out, ready to kill somebody. And, now you'll get coaches from both sides saying, no, wait a minute. But you let the situation be reversed, and, the coach that's mad this time will be the one that's mad next time. That's just the way they are.
Very good point.
All right, well, that is a good point.
We appreciate you calling, but I don't mean to cut you off. We got to go to commercial real quick and come back with more calls, but thanks for calling, okay?
Thank you.
Keep the phones ringing. We'll be right back.
472-8892 is our phone number. Give us a call.
Our buildings and employees do more than take up space. We're more than just checkbooks and loan applications. We are part of this community, just as the community is part of us. Our people have been here for years. We've worked alongside you at the Heart Walk and United Way. We reinvest both time and money, which adds to the quality of life in Bradley County. any bank can lend money, it takes a neighbor to lend a hand. First Tennessee. All things financial, all things Cleveland, all things community. Member FDIC.
Cleveland Chiropractic Clinic offers complete chiropractic care. Dr. Russell Smith and his friendly, dedicated staff can help relieve chronic back pain, neck pain, headaches, allergies, and also sport-related injuries. Cleveland Chiropractic Clinic has a licensed massage therapist on staff and 2 certified in-house x-ray technicians. Complete insurance filing is available and 24-hour emergency care. Phone 472-1140. We're back on SportsVision, this special edition, the 1-hour call-in show, as we talk to you live tonight about the special Cleveland-Bradley game. We want to talk about Coach John Lovingood, too, if those of you have an opinion about that. Him resigning from Walker Valley, moving on to Southeast Whitfield. And if you've noticed, I have both dogs around me now.
That's right.
What does that mean?
One play that will go down in the annals of history, at least in this town. The other night, Monday night, if you weren't there, if you hopefully you got to see it right here on our WTNB SportsVision monitor.
Yeah.
We've got people lined up to call to give us their opinion. Let's go ahead and take another one.
Yeah. Are you on the? You're on the line on the phone right now. Your name, please, if you'd like to give it.
Really don't want to give it.
All right, that's all right. A lot of people aren't tonight. That's cool. Your name or your opinion or your thought?
Well, I like the guy that just called in, the previous umpire. He, I mean, if anybody knows, if you know Kellen Pickle, then you know the attitude and the positive outlook he has. He's not going to do something like that. Just try to take out somebody.
Good point.
And you know, like they're not lowering his shoulder until just trying to protect himself. I mean, my opinion, it's the right call because Morrow knew that when he missed the ball, he could at least try to get out of the way instead of sitting there, try to make it. I mean, I don't know.
To that point, though, I think it's just like Pickle. I don't think he had time to stop, and I don't think Morrow would have had time to get out of the way as quick as it happened. I mean, they were almost, the ball's about 2 foot behind. I don't think either one of them had a choice about the time the collision was going to be made. If Morrow catches the ball, he's going to get hit real quick right then anyway, and since he didn't and there's no play, but your judgment is then that since there was no control of the ball, then there is no malicious intent there?
Yeah, because, I mean, if he has the ball and Kellen tries to do that, then, in my opinion, yeah, he should be out, ejected. But he doesn't have the ball, and he's still blocking the plate. Like, if he had slid, there's no way he could have got to home plate.
Well, and your point again, and we made it earlier, both Kellen and Morrow are friends, and I don't think either one of them would want to hurt each other. It is a Bradley-Cleveland game, and, of course, they want to beat the socks off each other during the game, but they don't want to. They remain friends afterwards, and I've heard from both sides of that. They are friends, and that's a good point right there. I don't think Kellen was there to say, okay, I'm taking Morrow out from about 30 feet away. Here we go. All right, let's take another caller.
Thanks for calling, pal. All right, you're on SportsVision, the magazine special edition. If you'd like to give your name, we'll take it right now.
Hey, Joe.
Hey, buddy.
Brett's dad.
Hey, what's going on?
I just got a call a while ago on my cell phone, and Brett said that guy was safe.
Was safe?
Brett, well, I'll tell you, whether you think he was safe from either side or the other, the umpire's decision of what counts, so bottom line, it counted as a run, so he was safe there, at least from that standpoint.
Exactly.
What do you guys think? Was he safe or out?
There you go. Pressure's on, big man.
Okay, I'll tell you what. In looking at it, now remembering, too, as I said a week or so ago, my son experienced the same thing at the Coy Middle School ball game where he did tell me, Dad, I flagrantly hit that kid to make him knock the ball out, touched the bag. He did. He was ejected, had to sit out 2 conference games. Looking at it that way, I think, is Kellen not sliding earlier, possibly he may have been called or should have been maybe called out. Now, if the umpire makes a judgment call, he was there, I wasn't. I have to say that. That's right. He was, so we're going to ask you your opinion of it. But with that right there, the umpire saying he's safe, you got to go with what the umpire says. Although, like I said, I looking at the tape and looking at it over and over and over, he probably should have been called out on that.
Well, I'm old school, and old school says, hey, back back in the days when, like I said, we're mentioning again the Pete Rose famous slide, headfirst slide in the Ray Fosse in the All-Star game. When I was these kids' ages and younger, even in the 8, 9-year-old leagues, there was no such rule. You played, you ran the guy over, you scored.
I agree with that totally.
Now, today's
rule,
when safety is supposedly the number one priority, well, it is. It's not supposedly the number one priority. Then the rule is made to be safe, and from the little kids, they automatically call it period because they are little and they're more easily hurt. But as we go up there, personally, I don't like the rule at all. Interpreting that way, I would probably, I said immediately after the game, just by the rule, I think that he's out. But there's some umpires here that I've talked to since then that have said, hey, maybe not, take a look. There isn't a play if the ball's not there. Bottom line, everything I've been told, it's a judgment of the umpire. And did Kellen try to take the guy out, try to hurt him? And bottom line, he didn't think so. The ball was behind the play. So it's a judgment call. I personally, would have to say, hey, you're watching this over and over. One time you can lean on one side, one time you can lean on the other.
I agree with you, Mike, and I'm down here at the Cleveland Fire Department. I get 2. We've been watching it, and we all think he's safe.
All right. Well, there you go. Another opinion.
Thanks
We
for
got
calling.
someone else on the line? All right. Here we go.
You're on SportsVision, the magazine, special edition. Your name, if you'd like to give it. You there? Okay. You're on SportsVision, the magazine. Your name.
Hey, this is Coach Carson.
Hey, Coach Carson. How
Coach
you
Carson.
I appreciate y'all showing this, and y'all do a good job out there.
Thank you.
So one thing we've all been interpreting this, and we got to remember, this is not the big leagues.
You're right.
Yes, sir.
And
But wait a minute, Coach Carson. Why not? Why can't we play baseball the way you're supposed to play?
He's a frustrated wannabe.
I am. I'm sorry. I think of it that way. I think we need to play baseball like you play baseball. But go ahead.
hey, this is high school.
I know that.
This is coming from the National Federation rulebook right
Yes.
here.
All right. Go ahead.
And it states, when a runner creates malicious contact with any fielder, with or without the ball, in or out of the baseline.
Is that on the...
That's in black and white.
Okay. That's what I was wondering. I tried to find some stuff on that today and couldn't come up with anything specific to it. So they had some cases. You've got that on a case?
That's in the... I can see what section.
You don't have to give me the page number or anything. I just wanted, but you apparently have...
Rule 2, Section 21, right there.
Okay.
See.
I'm going to write that down.
Let me also tell you this, Coach Carson, that in the scheme of things and the fact that that is a rule, in my opinion, and looking at it, I just said just a few minutes ago, I would have, if I was umpiring that right there, probably said Kellen was out simply because of just what you said, him not attempting to slide. And it did happen to my son, as I mentioned. But I do think that, we're playing the game and, it needs to be played that way. Now, we don't want to have safety as a bad factor here. We don't want to say that the safety of the kids isn't enforced. And in that case right there, I think you're right. I mean, you're coming into the plate. The kid either does or does not have the ball. That's not the factor. He's standing there. What do you do?
I don't think there's any intent on Kellen hurt him or anything.
Yeah, I don't think so.
But like I said, a rule is a rule. Which rules do you use to call and which not?
Right.
Now, do you feel that he had time, and again, I'm not playing devil's advocate here, did he have time to slide and still get to the base at that point? He does not probably know how far the ball is behind him.
You have to make an attempt.
You have to
That's
make
the
an
rule.
attempt. All right, and that's...
thinking or possibly thinking there is a play at the plate, or any base for that matter.
Yes, we've had it called against us with our guys, and that's just the way it should be.
And I know it was a...
if it's major leagues, nothing probably would have been said. But like I said, if not, it's...
And they still would have got to use wooden bats.
Yeah, we needed wooden bats and millions of dollars.
Well, a tough way to lose a ball game. We appreciate, your...
Thanks for calling.
A hard game for you to obviously want to have happen. Of course, you want to win every game if you're a coach, but the Cleveland-Bradley rivalry means a lot to both teams. And
it is a tough way to lose a game.
Very understandable, that the concern you have for this. And, we appreciate you calling in. And
all right, thank you. I just wanted the rules read.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you,
we
Coach.
appreciate that.
Appreciate it.
And that's good he clarified that because we did not have official clarification of that rule. You're on SportsVision, the magazine, special edition. Your name?
I think the coach summed it all up. The man should be sliding at that point. If he was sliding, he wouldn't even been close to standing up. He was heading in full speed ahead. He wasn't trying to hurt the guy. He just went straight in.
Right.
I guess he left.
That's it.
Well, I think that...
I said my piece and I'm out of here.
That's right. It's short and to the point.
Hey, you're on SportsVision, the magazine, special edition. Your name, please? I'm kidding. You're on Sports Vision Special Edition. Your name, please.
I don't want to give my name.
That's fine.
Question.
Yes.
Where should he start sliding at? I mean, the catcher was right there in the way where he would have started sliding to home plate. I mean, how far can he slide? 9, 10 foot?
Okay, wait a minute now. Scott, can we roll that again? This slow-mo place here, you have it set
Stay
up?
with us, caller. We're going to keep talking.
All right, now, okay, point being exactly. Good point there. But now look, where would you start to slide? Well, when you start getting into the circle.
You can't slide before the dirt.
Exactly.
So
when you start getting into the dirt, when you start getting a little closer to the plate. But the bottom line is the ball did bounce out. Now, in my opinion, the catcher saw the runner coming full speed, and the concentration on the runner caused him not to catch the ball. The runner, I don't think, had the intent to hit the catcher to hurt him in any way. He's looking for the plate, knowing there's an imminent hit that's getting ready to happen. They both brace themselves right there, and then there you go. But should he have slid further away? Again, judgment call, you know.
Well, when you run to first base, the first baseman isn't standing in line so he can get nailed either.
Very good point.
I think that the catcher should have been at the plate covering the plate.
Well, he is a couple feet up the line, but if he stays all the way to the plate, though, on defense of the catcher, the ball's not going to get all the way there. He doesn't want to short hop it. He does come up to catch it at that point. And really, you see it all the time. Catchers are taught to block the plate for the slide if the runner does try to slide in. So usually we see a runner coming around, maybe trying to catch it with his hand or whatever.
Now also on that point there, if the runner starts to run at the beginning of the circle there, the catcher probably seeing that runner starts to slide at the beginning of the circle, probably sees that slide starts to happen, maybe makes the catch, makes the tag. If he makes the catch, one way or the other, the runner is out because he would have had the ball prior to the runner.
If the ball's caught, it's a moot point.
Exactly.
Moot point. Speaking of mute, we got somebody else that wants to get on. I don't know if he's a mute. I'm sorry about that. Let's get him right here.
He's a dwarf.
He's a dwarf.
You're on Sports Vision, the magazine. Your name, please? He must have been a mute. He hung up on
See?
me.
What did I tell you?
You're on Sports Vision, the magazine. Your name, please?
Nikki.
Nikki. All right. What do you think, Nikki?
I don't know much about sports or baseball in general, but
But you like Sports Vision, and that's why you're calling.
I love sports. I don't know much about them, but I love it. But from what I saw, even if he would have tried to slid into home base, he still would have hit him.
Right.
He would have ran into him, but he would have run into him
trying to slide, which would have made a difference.
Well, and again, the rule was put in there. Coach Carson alluded to the fact that really this is the only reason to have the rule. Otherwise, you wouldn't have it. With safety, coming up with your hands up, your head into such a position. At least if you're sliding, the interpretation there is that he can't get a head injury. Hopefully, you'll be low enough that you're not going to catch the catcher in the face, head, etc. So, that I'd say that's the reason for the slide rule. The obvious reason is the safety rule. And you're right, though. I don't think he had time to slide. I think he was kind of caught in no man's land. What do I do? I'm not sure. Coming down the baseline, he thought the play was necessarily going to be that close. He might have thought he didn't have to slide. Then, at the last minute, and too late to do anything. But I don't know. It doesn't look like he said, "Okay, Marl, I'm coming at you."
People that know Kellen Pickle will know that. And when you think about it, when you watch the tape, where he is running and where he's standing, when the ball comes, it comes over his shoulder. He doesn't know if that ball is way out in left field where it's going to take
offline.
Right, where he's going to hit home plate and be in the dugout before it comes in. So he doesn't slide knowing the ball, not knowing where the ball is. So when it comes to pass where the ball comes over shoulder, it's kind of, hey, right here, right now, and it doesn't happen, and there you go.
Right. I mean, I'm for Bradley. I go to Bradley, so, I mean, I'm glad they won. So.
All right. Well, we appreciate your call. Thank you very much.
All right, Nikki. You're on Sports Vision, the magazine special edition. Your name, if you'd like to tell us.
I'd rather not give my name, but
That's
I have
fine.
2 comments.
Okay, go ahead.
First of all, I'd like to reiterate what another caller said, that Kellen is a good kid and would not have done this on purpose. And my other comment is, who won the ball game last night?
Uh-oh, there's a little in your face.
Good point. Good point.
For those, well, we did report it. We haven't shown the package. We'll do that on next week's Sports Vision. But 7-4 and another thriller come from behind. Bradley did pull one out. And, of course, they haven't seen Travis Simmons yet, and they're going to see him probably next week as soon as we get to the playoffs. So they're right now 2-1 Bradley or 1-2 Cleveland, however you want to look at their records against each other. And they've got one more, it looks like, they're going to play in the first round.
Thank you very much for calling. We have to go to commercial, but we'll be back with more callers on Sports Vision, the special edition magazine show. Stay with us.
Man, I am running short on cash with the car repairs, and our wedding anniversary is coming up next week. I need some cash, fast. But from where? I know. Matt was telling me about how First Southern Cash Advance helped him.
May I help you?
He just wrote them a check, and he got the cash right away. That's easy. I can do that. Then First Southern holds your check until your next payday.
It's quick, confidential, and helps take care of life's really important things.
First Southern Cash Advance. Cash when you need it most.
The employees of Duracell's 3 area facilities would like to give hearty congratulations to our 3 area high schools for excellence in academics and athletics. Rocker Valley High School, Cleveland High School, and Bradley Central High School. Keep up the good work, students. We are proud of you. From your local Duracell facilities, Mouse Creek, Tasso, and the Corporate Distribution Center and Warehouse. At Duracell, our people are our energy.
It's awesome, baby! Here we go.
You're watching SportsVision, the magazine special edition call-in show tonight, the Bradley-Cleveland matchup. And, of course, we had some other topics, but everybody seems to be capitalizing on this.
Lots of
You
calls.
have a caller on line 1, 472-8892 is our phone number. Give us a call. Caller, you are on SportsVision, the magazine special edition. Your name, if you'd like to give it.
It's Brian.
Brian, okay, pal. What do you got to say?
Well, I'm just passing through town on business. I played for Cleveland State back in '84, but I was watching this incident with the catcher here. But it clearly shows that, I mean, he's 2 feet up the line and right in the middle of the line, and the runner had every right to proceed toward home plate, and that's exactly what he did.
Now, okay, taking into consideration play at the plate, that's where the controversy is. There was a play at the plate. Do you believe there was a play at the plate that made a difference for the runner to have to slide?
Oh, yeah. I mean, no, not necessarily slide. I mean, he's got every right to get to home plate one way or another.
But do you know, from Little League on up to Major Leagues, if you don't slide and there's a play at the plate, you're out, which I can't believe.
Well, the interpretation of the rule, though, from a couple different sides. I've heard, believe it or not, I've had 3 umpires talking to me today. 2 gave one opinion, another gave a different one, the other side of the story. But if he doesn't have the ball, one of them said, then the play, and it already got there and left, there's no way at that point he's got to play, and that, he's got to get to the base somehow.
It's interpreted that way.
In fact, I was unaware of the rule, but, I mean, the guy's got to get to the plate, and, the only way he could have got to the plate, if he just slid, he'd have been 2 feet up the line, and that would have been it. So.
Coach Carson read us Rule 2, Section 21. I'm going to check that out tomorrow because I was trying to find stuff all day on this. We appreciate it, sir. Thank you.
Hey, thanks for calling, buddy.
Have a good evening.
All right, you too, pal. You're on SportsVision, the magazine special edition. 472-8892 is our phone number. Your name, if you'd like to tell us right now.
This is Andy Brown, and I'd just like to say that it's my understanding that you can't lower your shoulder at the plate or anywhere on the field.
SportsVision call-in show.
Wait a minute.
Wait a minute. You're on, too.
Click off there, SportsVision lady that answers the phone so nicely.
All right.
You still on there, Andy?
Still there.
All right, buddy. Okay, so you're saying you thought he lowered his shoulder to go to the plate?
Right, yes.
All right.
Is that...
okay, again, that's interpretation.
Was it in...
Do you feel like he was doing it...
Devil's advocate, was it because he knew there was a collision coming up, or did he lower it to lower the boom?
Right.
Right, and I know both the kids, and they're both good kids, and Kellen's a good kid, and Jonathan's a good kid, but...
And in competition, though, you're trying to win, and both of them are going to do what they got to do to win, bottom line.
Right, that's exactly right. And I'd also just like to say congratulations to the district champions. Thank you.
Cleveland Raiders, district champions, that's true.
All right, call it. You're on SportsVision, the magazine special edition. Your name, please, if you'd like to tell us that.
Well, I'll tell you, I am a former TSSAA umpire.
Thank you.
I am real close to the family that is involved.
Which one?
Kellen.
Okay.
Okay, and it's too close to call.
All right.
It's one of those that...
if you were umpiring that game home plate, what would you have called on that play right there?
I can't tell you. I wasn't there. If I would have seen it, you know, I don't know. I've seen the replay, and probably, I don't know.
All right, wait. Well, will you watch it again with us and really think about it? Because you are a former TSSAA umpire. We appreciate your call.
I've called TSSAA and JUCO and everything, and really don't know.
Just play it, Scott.
Hey, one time fast motion. Let's don't jog.
Slow-mo. He wants slow-mo. He wants to do slow-mo.
Well, but his slow-mo will be there. Okay, here we go.
Here we go. Watch it. Here's the play, slow-mo right here. Hits the glove, bounces out, comes in, stop action right there.
We're just showing you how far the ball away is there for a moment.
Tries to touch
Touches the plate right here.
Major objective.
Now you can still see how far the ball away is.
What do you think on that right there?
All right.
Probably be really upset. My family will be. If he doesn't lower his shoulder, then there's no problem.
But you think him lowering his shoulder, see, I agree with you. I'm glad you called in and said that. I love Kellen Pickle.
The last step.
And Kellen did not mean to do that, I guarantee.
I mean, it's a thing that's aggressive, and someone that is a
competitor.
Well, let's say
competitor. Exactly.
Thank you, caller. We appreciate it very much.
So my mother's going to kill me. She's
we'll talk to your mother.
Yes. And my sister.
And your mother knows who you are.
Who I am.
Your mother knows who you are.
And so does Regina. So, but I really and truly, I like to see that slow-mo because I don't think as an umpire that nobody's at fault. He was not at fault.
No.
All right.
He made a judgment call.
We appreciate your opinion.
Hey, thanks for calling.
Thank you.
One thing before they take the next caller, one thing I'd like to say real quick too, that as nobody has talked about, it was 4-4, and let's say he was called out, there's still a ball game to play. The outcome may have been the same, the outcome may have been different. So let's keep that in mind too. It did not necessarily win or lose the ball game for Cleveland. At that point it did, but Cleveland still would have had a chance to come back, or Bradley still could have won the game. So it was 4-4. Here we go.
All right, here we go. You're on SportsVision, the magazine, special edition. Your name, if you'd like to tell us what that is.
My name's Travis Godfrey.
Travis, okay, buddy. What do you think?
Let me ask you guys a question.
Yes, sir.
What if the catcher comes up with the ball, hangs on to it, tags him out the plate? Does Greg Garrett have a reason to be upset with the catcher being that far up the line?
Okay. Well, wait a minute now. What if the catcher comes up with the ball?
If he has the ball.
Wait a minute, which happened in my son's case. I bring that up again. What if the catcher comes up with the ball, holds on to the ball, gets hit by the ball player, whether they consider it flagrant or not, drops the ball? Is he safe or is he out?
Right. That's my question. If he hangs on to it.
The interpretation from what I've heard from the three umpires today is that if he does catches the ball, then there's no question. If he catches it and it's knocked loose from the impact, then he is out. But because there is a play. He's sitting there waiting to make a play. The fact that the ball was not caught and a couple feet behind the runner on impact, then the umpire's judgment is there is no longer a play to be made. He gets the right to the base. That was his interpretation. I said I've talked to three umpires today, and they were differing opinions.
All right, one more thing for you guys, let you go.
Yes, sir.
I'm a graduate of Charleston, was excited when Lovingood was hired as the football coach, and I hate to see him go because I think he was doing great things. I was looking forward to watching Walker Valley grow with him.
Who do you think?
Any ideas maybe who they're looking at as a replacement?
That's what we're going to ask.
Who would you nominate, so to speak?
You got a lot of good names in there.
Yeah, you're right.
The famous guys, the Webb.
Yeah, I like the Webb guy. He's put in his time there.
Rumor has it that he's one of the top candidates, but we really don't know yet. And really, excuse me, I can't get out of old habits. Walker Valley is kind of mum on the situation right now because they might have something in the works.
Did that surprise you that he left?
Well, we've had a lot of coaches here in the last couple of years that have made that drive down there to the Georgia schools, and I hate to see him go. I think he did a great job, and I hope they get somebody in there that will care enough about the program like he did and will put in the time that he did.
Well, he certainly had some great seasons for Charleston and Walker Valley. Here we go. Next caller, please.
Thanks for calling, bud. Have a good night. 472-8892 is our phone number. You're on SportsVision, the magazine. All right. You're on SportsVision, the magazine, special edition. Your name, if you'd like to tell us what that is.
Jay.
Jay, buddy. All right, what do you think?
Yeah, I think he should be out because the rule states if he still doesn't have the ball, then he should be called out, even if he did drop his shoulder.
Okay. He's got to slide when there's a play.
Yeah, he has to slide. The rule book says he has to slide if he's not able to make the play.
Okay.
All right, Jay. Thanks a lot,
buddy.
partner.
Thanks for calling. You're on SportsVision, the magazine, special edition. Your name is dial tone. Hey, another dial tone. All right, we'll wait for another call here. Mike, callers, various accounts of what they think should have happened, could have happened. The fact that the umpire calls him safe and should have called him out, or called him safe and should have called him safe. It's split. It's split here.
Well, again, I guess there may be no right answer. There may be just whatever that umpire saw at that point in time because, like I said, everybody seems to have a different opinion. A lot of times it depends on what color uniform you're wearing. If the game was reverse uniforms, reverse outcome, I imagine we've got Coach Guerin talking to those umps pretty heatedly at the time. So, and Cleveland defending it. So here we go, line 2. Let's take a look.
You're on SportsVision, the magazine, special edition. Your name?
Hey, I just want to ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
If the runner's in jeopardy going home,
yes,
and the player impedes his progress, the runner gets the base. He didn't have the ball.
And that's
apparently that's the way the umpire.
That's what that umpire told someone that I know quite well on the way out of the game. The reason he called that call, specifically asked why, he said that he didn't have the ball and he was up the baseline in his mind enough to be interfering in the play as he no longer had the ball. Now, if he's got the ball standing that far up the baseline, he's out. Now, he caught it. It's just like a rundown. You get him that far up the baseline.
If he catches the ball and tags him, he's out, right?
Yes.
Okay, now, if you look at when you look at the footage, too, as the umpire is saying safe, his head, his eyes are looking at the ball, which is about 8 feet up from the plate.
All right.
All right.
We appreciate you calling. One more call, I think, is about all we got time for.
You're on SportsVision, the magazine, special edition. Your name, please? Hello?
Try the other line. There we go.
SportsVision, the magazine. Your name, please?
I'm not really going to give that.
That's fine.
Lots of brave people out there.
But I'm going to call about the Walker Valley coaching thing.
Yes, sir.
I didn't really know Coach Levengood, but the assistant coach, Coach German.
Yes, sir.
I've known him pretty much
I've
my
heard
whole life. He was my coach at Truett, football coach, and really I think he should be promoted up to head coach because, he's a great spirit, and he's a great coach. He really knows a lot about the game.
He's an excellent coach. You're absolutely right. And I'm surprised you didn't want to give your name on that. Let him know. You're one of his supporters.
Look at your monitor.
I've already called once, and if I give him a name, then I'll be...
There you go.
Thanks,
buddy.
Our time is running out.
Hey, we need to do this again. Let these folks call.
We're going to show more of this, too, on next week's SportsVision.
Hey, don't forget SportsVision. We've got to tell them. Tomorrow night.
This will replay.
6 and 11.
And Saturday morning at 9.
Sunday at 7 in its entirety, 1 hour.
And we will have action. All you kids that got taped out there this week, all your games. We had many junior high games. We had some Little League games. We're going to show them in our normal SportsVision times beginning on Thursday night.
Week.
And I want to thank WTNB for this special tonight and allowing us to throw it on right at the last minute. And hey, all you little old ladies, no people that are mad at me, I just taped the game. I'm sorry.
Knock him out. He's got the camera. He makes a difference.
I'll tell you, I got bruises here. She kicked me over here. She gave me
got the camera.
Gave me one of these over here. Just what I did to my dog.
It makes a difference whether they win or lose.
By golly, I had a lot to do with the outcome of that game. Don't say that.
I'm telling him to.
Thanks a lot for tuning in. Thanks for all your calls. Thanks for all your support. Are we out of here? There we go.